All right, we'll leave OBS up. Looks like StreamYard kept it going. Let's see here. If I do that, I present, I share screen. Oh, there we go. Now we're starting to go. Mute the stream. Pull Dark Souls back up, but I'm probably going to have to minimize that. Yep, okay. Entire screen, screen 2, screen 1, screen 1. And then I have to click to that. I can do comments, right? No, comments doesn't work for StreamYard, so I have to do it via YouTube. Or maybe via OBS. I can do it via OBS. Cool. We'll do that then, because that's a little bit more convenient or comfortable for me. And now I just have to have my outline up. Good Lord. Go to live, folks. Okay. How are we doing now? Frightening hat that. Oh, this is my I want to cast magic missile hat. I still need the blue robe so I can do that properly. Okay. Ups is telling me I'm good. All right. Test game audio. Let me also let's see, options. Can y'all hear me toggling between menu stuff? Do I just need to up the volume? Hang on, let me just up the volume. Let's see here. Volume. That's not quite what I wanted. You're seeing behind the curtain. Mixer. Let's see. Dark Souls will bring up to full. All right. There we go. How's that? How's the game audio coming through? Hopefully okay. All right. Let's redo the intro. Howdy, Embody. Afriel here. And today I want to talk about how it's not about mechanics. Or at least it is not our mechanics that show who we truly are. It is our choices, to kind of riff off of the famous Dumbledore quote. And game audio is not coming through. Not at all. Okay, well, hang on. Let's see if we can fix that. Let's see if we can fix that before I keep going. How do I change how StreamYard pulls audio in? Default speaker, echo cancellation, stereo audio. Okay. General. Because the mic is the mic, but I would think that there's got to be some other like capture for stream audio. Is that not? Am I crazy on that? Settings. Oh Lord, we are doing some appurtenance tuning tonight, folks. I'm gonna periodically click back into the chat here and see if anybody's seeing it. How do I pull audio into StreamYard? I would think that it would be from if I'm presenting a screen, but maybe if it's only a window. But I can't. Okay, maybe if I switch this to, let's see here. options, PC settings, full screen off. I'll up the resolution a little bit. Right? 1680 by 945 I think is good. Because it's like, okay, resolution changed. And now instead of showing screen, present, stop screen, present, share screen, but share window, Dark Souls. Maybe the audio comes through then. It's really jank because it shows the freaking top ribbon, but maybe that'll work. Let's see. How about now? Can you hear the sword hitting the tile? I can probably listen in on it for a second, huh? No, you cannot hear the sword hitting the tile. I almost want to just kill StreamYard and then come back with OBS for the time being. Does anybody in the comment section know how to make it so that StreamYard pulls the audio from a window instead of a tab? Or is that too much to ask? You're muted. If you're in StreamYard, I do not see you. Do it the OBS way? Okay. I will be right back then, folks. Give me one moment. Folks, give me one moment. Okay. Are we live on OBS? Let's see. Live-ish. Okay. Are we live on OBS? Okay, seems we are. Let's see. And we have game audio. Okay, here we go. Now we've got it. Holy. All right. Grizz, if you want to do this, we'll have to have you stream it, and yeah, okay. Whew. Pardon the first 15 minutes of the show. Pertinence tuning is rather important. All right. Oh, that's annoying though, because I kind of want to, well, I got to show off the hat at the first part, but you could just visualize that I'm wearing the hat still. All right. So it's not about... Oh, goodness. Howdy, Embody. Afriel here. Tonight I want to talk to you about how it's not just about mechanics. It's our choices that show who we truly are. Kind of riffing off of the famous Dumbledore line. And there's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about with that, too. Where... There's so many different ways that we interact with games as far as trying to keep them from being bad and trying to make them better. There's so many specific examples too of that I really want to go through. And just to give like a gameplay snippet here, we're going to be collecting some more humanity so that I can refight Ornstein and Smo and hopefully kill them on the first try, but probably not, so we're going to collect a bunch of humanity. Right. So, the first thing that probably should be addressed is how do you patch fatal flaws in games? Because if the game's not worth playing to begin with, then it's probably you're not going to come back to it, right? So how do you make it so that people are willing and able to come back to a game? And there's probably the most prominent example of this in my mind is League of Legends, just because that's been what I've spent a very large amount of time playing over the last several years. And so one of the examples of a fatal error in a game was the Ardent Sensor meta. Back in like 2017, there was an item called Ardent Sensor that boosted the healing and shielding percentage of support players, and what it caused was an issue where anybody who was able to or was actively building Ardent Sensor was a much better champion to play. And anybody who couldn't was completely unviable. And it was so broken that what ended up happening was that the supports that were building Ardent Sensor were the entire game focused around them. Like, it was pretty much how do we funnel enough gold into the support to get them Ardent Sensor as quickly as possible, and then once they have it, how do we then maximize, capitalize on them having that Ardent Sensor? Oh, I'm okay. Not dead yet? Maybe not. Okay, that's a great way to start the stream. Oh goodness. All right, let's try that again. And so, and it ruined League of Legends Worlds in 2017. Like, it ruined it, because the only thing that was happening, the only focus was, how do we get our support an Ardent Sensor as quickly as possible, and then how do we maximize teamfight capability in order to make sure... Mod you? You're gonna have to... Hang on. Let's see. Like, in YouTube? I'm gonna keep going. If you can, like, give me instructions, Grizz, then I will mod you if however you're intending for that to be done. Alright, so you had this Ardent Sensor meta where... And it wasn't really enjoyable to watch, because it was very bland, very predictable. Everyone was just doing the same formula over and over and over again. And so eventually they patched it out, because if the game is revolving around a single unidimensional aspect, it's not a good game. It's not an enjoyable game. Oh, slow mode keeps... Okay, it's a 3-second slow mode. Okay, I put that on just so people wouldn't spam. There's no... you can wait 3 seconds between posts. Alright, so Ardent Sensor. They had to patch that out because it was so destructive to the gaminess of the game. I'm not going the correct way. Let me just... There we go. Alright, so Ardent Sensor ruined the meta for a while. And there were earlier examples of that too, where Riot Games, the developers of League of Legends, were not properly accounting for how certain issues would arise as a consequence of their choices. So another main example of that was Black Cleaver. When it was originally introduced as an item, was, gosh, this is going to be hard. Okay, I'm just going to explain it as I can, as best I can, knowing that pretty much everybody in my audience is going to have no idea what I'm talking about. But the idea with Black Cleaver, there's a stat in League of Legends called Armor, which reduces the amount of incoming physical damage. And so the idea was Black Cleaver would shred through your armor, and it still does. But when they first released it, it was not a unique effect. It wasn't something where if you had one copy of the item, it would do the effect. But then, originally as it was released, as many copies of the item as you had, it would duplicate that effect. And most items that they have that are similar to that now have those effects as unique. So if you have multiple Black Cleavers, only the first one actually does the armor reduction. And that's a really, really important aspect, because what was happening was you would have these instances where somebody would build multiple Black Cleavers, and not only would the person be dealing true damage, they would be dealing bonus damage, because they were reducing their opponent's armor so much that it actually caused the armor value to go into the negative. And I'm glad that I can die for your grins, Joy. I'm glad that I have this opportunity. Especially when I'm already a little bit, not on edge, but just trying to settle myself after having such a disastrous stream start. Whew! Okay. So, covered those examples of, like, you need to patch fatal flaws in the game. Right? If you have something that is that bad that it's making it so that the game is fundamentally unplayable, then you need to handle and deal with that first. But once you've dealt with that, then you kind of have the question of, okay, how do we... Can I jump down here? Should I jump down here? I probably should. Also, I might tap... Oh my lord. That was great. It mutes what you say? Okay, that's not... Can I change that setting? Okay, we're going to take a pause. It should be a 3-second mute, not like a 3-minute mute. Let's see. Let's see here. Open a new tab. Create, go live, studio live streaming. There's more of the mechanics. Probably should have left this tab open. Let's see. Can I turn off slow mode within the settings of the stream? Analytics, stream health, stream settings, closed captions, unlist, stream settings. Can it stay there? 4th temperatures. Let's see. Actions pop out. Community moderation. Maybe that's what it is. I can at least give you that. Managing moderators. Add managing moderators. Okay, hang on. Grizz. What's a way of searching your name that I can actually... Griswold. Griswold Grimm, there you are. Save. Alright, you should have a wrench now. And I will turn off slow mode for future streams. I did not realize it was that much of an issue. Alright. You have the wrench. Okay. And And I think that actually, how do we want to do that? So when I go into the community portion of the stream, I think what I'll do is I'll leave this streaming, and then I will, if you want to start StreamYard, I will join your stream and then share Dark Souls as a window if we want to do it that way. I think that'll probably be the best way. It should be 1 per 3 seconds is what I intended to set it at. I don't know why it's malfunctioning. So, okay. Hopefully that little break will help deal with some of the nervousness. I would definitely encourage anybody who wants to give it a try to do some live streaming, because it is a lot different on the other side of the microphone / camera. So, alright. So once you've patched the fatal flaw in your game, how do you mod a game to make it better? And my wife and I were talking about this a little bit before stream, Mrs. Pilotson, and identifying the fact that I tend to be a bit masochistic in the ways that I engage with games and the ways that I mod them and such. Specifically, one of the games that I've been playing off stream lately is Better Than Wolves, which is a mod for Minecraft that makes it incredibly difficult from a survival perspective. And I don't know, that's been kind of my way of doing things, is that and you can see this in a lot of other games too. Like, one of the main features of roguelike games, whether that's Binding of Isaac, what are some of the other ones, or main ones? The one with like the Greek pantheon that I'm failing to remember the name of it right now because I haven't actually played it. Bastion, pretty much any roguelike that you find, the main way of modifying the game, and oftentimes within the game itself, is just to make it harder. Because as you master skills, as you get better at the game, then you start to want more of a challenge. Should I explain what roguelike is? Yeah, I probably should. So Rogue was an ASCII-based game, and the idea with it was it was a procedurally generated game. So you would start out in the same area, but everything that you played through in Rogue was always different every single time you played through it. And so it wasn't something like previous games, where like Super Mario Brothers or any other number of games, where you could like learn and memorize patterns and memorize enemy appearances and stuff like that. You actually had to learn and understand the game. Bye, Ups. I know it's late where you're at, so I appreciate you coming in for the beginning. But yeah, you had to... Can I get the... it's not a parry. Okay, well. And I thought I was blocking, but maybe not. Well, he's dead. Just figured I'd go ahead and take care of the Baldur Knight there. Not Baldur Knight, but you get the idea. I'm just trying to do something different so that way I don't have to die in Sen's Fortress again. What I really should do is look up how to find Big Hat Logan and kill, or not kill, free him and do the elevator. Oh, come on, that's annoying. I'm definitely stalling here, by the way. Oh, I don't have the wolf ring on. That could be a problem. Okay, almost had him stun locked, but not quite. And I'm dead. Cool. That's great. Dying for your grins. Alright. So how do you improve an existing game? Behind a wall. I know the Big Hat Logan is behind a wall you have to destroy. I'm trying to remember where the key is to free him, and then also I don't remember if it's the same key or if it's a different key. But there's 2 cages. I'll point them out the next time I walk by them, but you're supposed to unlock one of them, and it takes you back down to the very beginning of Sen's Fortress, and I just don't remember where that is, and I probably could look it up, and I probably should look it up. Actually, you know what? While the demons are carrying me back down again, I will just go ahead and look it up, so that way this part of the stream is reduced. Alright, let's see. Where was it at? Location of Sen's Fortress shortcut key. Room behind the bookcase. No, that's not it. Tucked away. There's an elevator below the boss area. It looks like 2 cages. Key is in the same area. Jump the gap. Okay, there we go. Alright. I'm gonna have to take this off in order to get there. But I need it in order to kill the guy. And not the short sword. Where is it at? There we go. Okay. So it's across one of the jumpable gaps. Okay. Alright. So, and from what Mrs. Pilotson was telling me before the stream, most people generally tend to mod games to make them easier. And I get that, but at the same time, I don't know. It just seems a little odd to me. Let me change this from this Covetous Serpent Ring to the Wolf Ring. Because the fun of games to me is in the challenge. And I know that some people... Oh, God. Okay. Okay, do I talk to you?
So...
And this guy, I think you can buy stuff from. Yeah, Black Fire Bombs. Oh, you can buy Green Titanite from him, too. Interesting.
Nothing at all?
Okay.
Fine then.
And then we go down to the bottom here, and then I think there's a key, and that lets me activate the elevators. Down we go. I should probably turn my weapon back on. There we go. I probably should shield when I'm getting attacked. There we go. And this gives me a key. This gives me the cage key. Huzzah! And I can unlock Big Hat Logan with this if he's not already out. So one of the things I was asked was if I were to mod Dark Souls, how would I mod it? And I think that that's kind of what I'm doing right now, actually. Anytime that a player finds that a game... Usually if the game's too easy, but not always, that what they want to do is they want to find a way to make it more difficult. Or at least more interesting, right? Because like I don't need Dark Souls to be any more interesting than it, or any more difficult than it already is, as y'all can clearly see. But it would be kind of boring for me to just play some tanky character using whatever weapon I wanted to, right? Like, especially if I were to be using something that was a faster weapon, or if I were using... There we go. There we go. That's so much better. Why didn't I do that earlier? But yeah, if you want to challenge yourself, you want to find some way of making the game different. And for me, for this particular run, that is playing as a pyromancer who found a big sword. And that's the way I'm trying to make it interesting for myself. And I kind of want to go free Big Hat Logan because I don't know if he actually stays where he's supposed to be. So we're just going to go take care of that real quick. Should I go? I think I have to go up the top to make that easier, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's not get knocked off by an axe again. Let's open here, and up we go. And honestly, modding games to make them easier is not anything new. Probably most infamous for that kind of a concept was Bobby Fischer. What he wanted to do, because he was so frustrated and so tired of chess being a purely memorization game for a lot of people, what he wanted to do was introduce something that he called Chess 960. And the idea with that was that there would be 960 different starting positions, because a lot of chess theory is based off of those openings, the opening positions. And so rather than having it be predetermined what the best arrangements, the best sets of moves would be, he wanted to change things around so that you would actually have some level of variation in the beginning, in the opening. Let me see if I can get this guy with one swing. Dang, son, that's some good stuff right there. Alright. Let's cross here. Alright. I just want to get to Big Hat Logan, because that's probably something that I should have done earlier. Let's have him unlocked. And there we have that here. We have to turn this twice. Right, I think it's done that way. Destroy the wall near Big Hat Logan with a well-placed save and reload. You can also destroy it with a sufficiently strong hit, oddly enough. What it's doing is it's checking for how hard the hit lands, and so if you have a big enough sword and you hit hard enough, then it actually will also break through it. Odd, odd, odd. Also, it didn't kill him. That's kind of annoying. There you go. You get to sit. And here is Big Hat Logan. You seem quite lucid. A rare thing in these times.
I am low.
And then we open him up using the cage key. Hello! And now we'll see him back at Firelink Shrine. I kind of had to, as a fellow Big Hatter.
Oh, heavens. But I must log things first.
Turn to Firelink Shrine. And then later on, he'll go quite mad. Because after we beat ONS, then he'll end up not doing so great, we'll put it that way. And then hope we don't tell the young sorcerer where he went, what he did. Okay. So, like I said before, Bobby Fischer proposed to mod chess, but nobody, and some people have actually taken to it. I know Magnus Carlsen is a big proponent for Chess 960, but it hasn't really caught on in popularity because it's difficult, right? It's difficult to change a game from how everyone knows it to be played already. And so it's not really an easy thing to change or to mod a game in such a way where everyone is willing to accept it. Just look at Minecraft, right? There's tons of really great mods for Minecraft, but it is incredibly difficult to get everybody together on the same server, playing the same version of the game, It's almost impossible. You cannot do it. Or okay, you can do it, but it's you're hurting cats. You try to. Balatro is basically modded 5-card stud, for instance. Yep. And modded games are oftentimes a lot of fun, but they oftentimes end up becoming a different game altogether as well. And so you can't just rely on modding to fix a game. And in fact, I would say that it's not actually the modding that fixes the game. It's the way that the players change with how they relate to the game that fixes the game. I'm going to try to not take... Did he just... Anybody else see that? There was a snake person following me and he just disappeared. Anyway. So one of the things that I've kind of had the thought of is that depending on the frame that you look at chess, it changes the sum nature of the game. By itself, chess is a negative sum game. Actually, I'll rest at the next fire I have because I can just take the elevator now, and it makes Sense Fortress a little bit more trivial. So chess is negative sum within a particular game. Like if you had to play chess against somebody else with the same pieces that you had at the end of a particular game, then what you would find is that you have less pieces than you started with, so it's going to make it a little bit more difficult to play the next person that you have to play. But within a tournament, for instance, it ends up becoming zero sum. All of the elo that is gained by certain players is lost by others. And I don't know if it's actually exactly true, but I think it's close enough that I can just say that outright. But yeah, it ends up being zero sum. But if you look at someone playing chess and learning chess over their lifetime, and if you look at not just a single person, but multiple people learning chess over their lifetime, it ends up being a positive sum game. Because all of those people that were introduced to that game and then learned that game and maybe not mastered it, but got to a certain level of proficiency with it, they got a lot out of it. And so it's not just about what happens within the particular games. If you can figure out how to expand the scope properly, then you can engage with the game in a way. And it does affect the metagame too, because if you're just playing chess to win, then you're not going to necessarily have a huge degree of nuance or variation or depth or complexity, because everyone who is playing is going to be playing to win, and playing to win as quickly and as decisively as possible. And they're not going to be wanting to give any quarter, any sort of concession to the other people that they're playing with. And that's not good for the health of the game. It's not good for the depth or the complexity of the game. And so the question is, how do you encourage that depth and complexity? And you do that by reframing, or not just reframing, but realizing that the frame of the game, as it should be realized, is actually positive sum. And he stepped on my head. There you go. Because chess, like I said, you can view it as a negative sum game within the context of I didn't need to chug Estus. Within the context of a particular game, you can view it as negative sum. Within the context of a tournament, you can view it as zero sum. Within the context of a lifetime of playing chess, you can view it as positive sum. And so it is entirely dependent on your framing what sort of a game you see chess as. I'm going to change back from a wolf ring to a cold covetous serpent ring, and that will hopefully help the situation. There we go. Because we're going to be going back down to the depths, or Yeah, the depths and farming rats again. IMO from Dashing Slasher. IMO modding is a way to continue with a game you love, but it has become stale or routine. Dark Souls 3 mods really breathed some new life into it for me. Yep. And like, I would argue that for most games, you don't even necessarily have to mod them in order to breathe new life in them. You just have to find ways of constraining yourself in nuanced or meaningful ways. Like, another really good example of this was the popularity that Settled got when he did his series, Mauritania Locked Iron Man, Swampletics. There we go. Swampletics was, I watched through that whole thing. I was captivated by it, mesmerized by it. I think that was an incredibly popular, incredibly, like, it was so good. Like, and I don't even, like, you're playing a medieval clicking simulator from like the early 2000s, right? There's no way that this thing should be compelling or able to give a good story. And yet, it was one of the most popular series on YouTube, at least about RuneScape, right? And it was because this guy was able to take a medieval clicking simulator and turn it into a compelling story. He was able to turn it into a positive sum game of storytelling. Oh, stop. Sit. Sit, you little pinky. Just kill these guys real quick so I don't die randomly. It's rude. Okay, I'm just gonna... Okay. Maybe I should keep the wolf ring on. Yeah, let's just switch that out until I get to the rats. Stop. Oh my god. I cannot press the right buttons. But yeah, and I don't know if this is necessarily always the case. I don't know if you can do this for any particular game. And there we go. And that's why you wear the wolf ring, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you can do it for any game. If you can reframe any game to become positive sum. But I think on some level it has to be the case. At least for non-broken games. And the reason that I say that is... there is a young author's novel or novel series called So You Want to Be a Wizard. And the thing with that book series is the big bad evil guy of that it's a Satan-like figure, but more importantly it's entropy. That the Satan-like figure is representing entropy as a concept, and that's the thing that they're fighting against. And I am going to save at this bonfire once I run through and hopefully don't get dropped on by a slime, but I did anyway, because of course why wouldn't I? There's probably some way of running through there without getting dropped on by those guys, but we didn't do it, so we're just going to run through anyway. Yeah. I think, and this is me reaching way farther than I probably ought to, but I think that entropy ends up being the final boss of this reality. That what we're called to do is to figure out how to reframe our understanding of reality, because entropy frames reality as a negative sum game. There's only so much usable work in the universe, and then after that, everything ends. And I think that that's sort of one of the ultimate puzzles or ultimate questions about our reality is how do you... Oh gosh. President Foxman saying I have to wait to chat. I put a 3-second delay, which I've done for every other stream that I've done before, and apparently it's breaking or something, so I will have to just remove that for future chats. I did it more as just a safety feature in case there was somebody who came on and spammed, but whatever. To finish the point that I was trying to make, I think that entropy is one of the sort of final bosses of our understandings of reality. That what we're called to do is reframe our understanding of reality as a positive sum game, in spite of the fact that everything in reality is trying to tell you that it's a negative sum game. It should be a negative sum game. You're supposed to be seeing it as a negative sum game. And that we're supposed to say, nah. No, I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what you're telling me. I don't care what you're trying to force me into seeing or believing. This is a positive sum game. I can make it a positive sum game. No matter what you say, no matter what you do to me. I think that that's probably the most crucial way of understanding how we're engaging with games, how we're engaging with them in order to impact the metagame, that at some level, like in the same way that with chess, if you're engaging with it as a negative sum game, it'll be a negative sum game. If you're engaging with it as a zero sum game, it'll be zero sum. But you can engage with it as a positive sum game. And that you can impact the metagame by doing so. And doing so in a positive way, and making it so that it is so much more of a rich experience, not just for yourself, but for everyone that is engaging in that community with you. And with that, I'm going to go take a bio break real quick. I will be right back, and then I'll open it up for chats afterwards. Grizz, if you don't mind us just hopping into your StreamYard and doing it that way, I think that that'll probably be the best, because trying to do it via Discord call hasn't worked as well in the past, and I think I can just pipe the StreamYard audio into my stream without issue. But as far as streaming the game and having other people come on, I think that's going to be a bit more of an issue. So I'll be right back. And when I do, hopefully we'll be able to get that going. Oop. Mute myself while I go. This is why we have branding, by the way. So that way when nature calls, it doesn't affect the content. Ah, goodness. Okay. Well, I haven't seen anything from Grizz about getting a StreamYard co-stream up and going, so we're just going to keep rolling with this. Womp womp. Well, if anybody else wants to get that set up, or we can just do a Discord call. And I'll just leave it. Okay, yeah. You know what? We'll do that. Let me post an invite link for my stream. Magic Conch, not couch. Magic Conch. Create invite. Copy. Let's see. Post it into chat. That's not what I wanted. Let's see. Apps League. Oh, come on. Invite people. Is it not gonna? Okay, there we go. Why is it copying it? Oh, Lord. If you're already in, great. If not, let me know and I will figure out a way of inviting you. Because I think streamer mode being enabled is making it so that it doesn't want to copy things into it properly. But I will be in the Magic Conch, yapping away. And I will stream or restream that there so that you can be reacting to it live instead of reacting to it on my YouTube video, my YouTube stream. And we'll just roll from there. If Foxman or Joy or anybody else wants to join in. If Joy's even still here. Or Dashing Slasher. Actually, I'll invite you, Mr. Slasher. I don't have you as a friend, so I can't invite you directly. Well, it's not in the Broken Clock Tower. Let me invite you as a friend. Let's see here. Let me find you. Dashing Slasher. There you are. Add friend. And then we'll go back to my green room channel. Create invite. Dashing Slasher, invite. And if anybody else wants to come in, just let me know if you're not already part of this, part of my green room. And we'll figure it out from there. Yeah. Now, actually, let me pull my outline back up. See if there's anything I missed. See if there's anything else to go over. Other way out. Oh, something else that I didn't go over. There's been loads of stuff, so like, I should preface it before I go right into it. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a team first-person shooter game, and one of the issues that has come up with it is what are called boosts. Basically, if you jump in such a way that you can jump on another player's head, I need to put on my golden serpent ring. Okay, there we go. If you jump on another person's head, then you can get a vantage point that you would not otherwise be able to get to. And when you do that, normally people are aware of where those are, and there's sort of rules in place about whether a particular boost is quote-unquote legal or not. But sometimes what will happen is that players will discover new boosts, or teams will discover new boosts, and they will utilize those as sort of a surprise in competitive matches. I can't remember the specific one that comes to mind, but there was a 3-player boost that gave an off-sight line down the mid of one particular map that was so utterly broken that a team was able to come back from like 5-13, which if anybody who doesn't know, Global Offensive is usually played, it's 30 rounds, so it's the first to 16 by 2 is the winner. And so this one team was down 5-13, and then they were able to come back from that because the boost that they figured out was so good, was so broken, and so unexpected by the enemy team that they were able to just completely dominate them. And so when you have instances like that, I don't remember if that... I think that boost ended up getting banned after that game, and they may have actually been forced to forfeit that game because there's... Within CSGO, there's sort of this obligation of, you have to report certain things sometimes. And so I think that in that particular instance, the ruling body was like, hey, you shouldn't have used this without letting other people know about it beforehand. This was a really unfair advantage for you to have over other teams. And I get that you were able to figure this out with a ton of research, but it ended up being grossly unfair to everybody else for you to use this. So it's a fine line. Yeah, it's a fine line. Dashing slasher. Yeah, it's a fine line between utilizing and abusing mechanics. And ideally, like I mentioned Riven on the last stream, where you have certain champions within League of Legends where you're expected to have a mastery over certain mechanics. Riven being a particularly notorious example because of the level of animation canceling you have to be proficient with in order to be good with her. But there's like this expectation that you have to know a certain, like, or you end up balancing the character around whatever it is, right? If there is a possibility that a particular champion or a particular character can deal a certain amount of damage in a certain time frame, you kind of have to balance around that. Oh, am I gonna die? I'm gonna die. That's unfortunate. Because, and well, actually, you don't have to balance around the max damage output of a particular thing. But what ends up happening is that there's sort of a weird balancing tango that has to get played. Yeah, I face rolled into a bunch of rats. That was my bad. Because if you balance... So, one of the really weird balancing dynamics, especially in League of Legends, is that depending on the elo that you're playing at, certain champions are going to be absolute pub stompers, and other ones are going to be weak as all get out. Tryndamere is a really good example of this, where you have a champion who is absolutely broken at low elos if you know how to abuse him, but at higher elos he's pretty much unplayed because of the fact that anybody who is good enough at the game knows how to deal with him effectively. And so but you can't balance him to be not a low elo pub stomper, because the issue is if you were to try and change his balancing, he would either be completely ineffective at every elo, or if you made him, like, if someone at a middling elo were to play him and they would be proficient with him against their opposition, then he would be absolutely broken in pro play. And so there's this balance, the balancing act ends up being between not just like levels of proficiency, but if you were to pit players of different elos. Am I going to do the same thing again? No, okay, we're good. Like, if you have someone who is a high elo player playing back through lower elos, they're going to end up just absolutely creaming people with certain things, with certain techniques, with certain champions, certain metas. And the right way of handling that, the right way of actually dealing with that, isn't to just ban things or nerf things. It's to recognize that there is a way of handling that, right? And that, specifically to try and make it so that you keep people better matched. Right? If somebody is clearly demonstrating the play of someone who is of a higher rating, oh, that's annoying. You let them play against higher rated players more quickly. You don't do this weird rubber banding thing where you are trying to estimate somebody's elo. Am I going to actually be able to hit it, or is it going to hit the ceiling again? It actually went through. That's nice. And I hear basilisks. I just want to kill rats. I don't want to kill basilisks. Leave me alone. Okay. So now we have to find our way back to the bonfire, reset it. Because I want to have... Okay, I have 3 humanity right now. I think we're going to go for 10 before I go back and try and fight Ornstein and Smo again, just to be safe. And I put Seath the Scaleless. We'll see if that was a little over-ambitious of me, or if we'll actually be able to get to him tonight. Let's see, what else can I yap about? Matchmaking is such a crazy beast. The balance between skill levels and queue times makes it a nightmare. Yes, but it makes it worse when you have companies that are trying to matchmake not just to try and make good games, but are actively matchmaking for the purpose of engagement. Like, that's been a really big problem, and honestly, I think that's one of the biggest issues for generating toxicity within multiplayer games today, is that you have this weird meta that evolves, especially when you have people smurfing and you don't have good Smurf detection or Smurf elimination or Smurf promotion. One of those, however you want to deal with Smurfs. Which, okay, for those who don't know, Smurf is a term that originated. There was a guy whose username was Papa Smurf. Excuse me, Papa Smurf, and he was a much higher rated player who intentionally went and played against lower rated players. You're in baby jail. Okay, is there a way for me to change the stream settings? Because if there is, then I'm going to try and do that real quick, but I don't know if there actually is or not. Let's see. Can I fix the settings? Moderation, activity, timestamps, reactions, send feedback. My moderation. As long as you wait 3 seconds between, it shouldn't be an issue. Defaults? No. Don't need to hold messages in chat. Discard changes? Sure. Let's see. I think it's just one of those... That's really annoying, YouTube. There should be a way of changing the settings in the stream itself. And I don't know if there is a way to do that, how to do it. I'll just have to make sure I set that differently for next time. Oh, on Discord. Let me fix that. Landing zone, dashing slasher, not neostake mean. Dashing slasher, mod view. Can I give you permissions? Add role. Voice chatter. Remove baby jail. Or maybe not. You should be good now. Give it a try. Howdy, Spatch. Fellow Questuarian. Yeah, let me know if you're good now, Mr. Slasher. I am still good on the rings, right? Yep, Coda's Gold Cert. He's a real boy! No, I don't. Why do I keep going down this freaking stairwell? I need to go up here and kill rats. Because rats drop humanity. And we're not going to question why that is the case. None of them dropped it. Disappointing. Yeah. Now, frack, what was I talking about? Talking about League, talking about, oh, engagement-based matchmaking. That is a scourge upon this earth that needs to die in a fiery hole. Because the idea is that if you can change when people win and lose based off of when they're more likely to give you money, then you will intentionally give wins and losses to different players based on that. And that's not to say that people won't still win and lose, mostly when they're supposed to. And the game is going to try and estimate your elo as best it... Wow. There's your deja vu, Dashing Slasher. They're going to try and estimate it the best they can, so that way they can try and guarantee wins and losses when and where they want to. But what that means is that rather than trying to actually make games competitive, they're intentionally trying to make them seem competitive, and then actually end up being not at all. And it's really... It's toxic, and it ends up breeding a certain level of toxicity in the players, especially... I did it again. Once the players realize that that's what you're doing, they're going to respond in a certain way, and basically everybody is going to be trying to determine when you have given them a guaranteed loss. And they're going to, as a general rule, assume that you have given them a guaranteed loss anytime they even detect a hint or a possibility of it. And so you get people giving up way sooner than they ought to. And it just creates problems. It creates this really bad player mentality where rather than trying to win because you know every game is close enough to be possible to win, you're just trying to figure out, okay, is this a game where the game company wants me to win or wants me to lose? And then once you've figured that out, you just lean into whichever side that is. But the problem is that if you're already going into it with that mentality, you're looking for when you're supposed to lose, rather than trying to figure out how you can win. And it deteriorates the quality of the game. I'm going to go just a little bit more cautiously this time, and hopefully not die again in a stupid way. Hey guys. There we go. That's much better. Kill one, dodge and kill the other, and kill the other one too, as a bonus. Much better. See, I am learning. I can learn. It is possible. And there's two in these boxes that I can kill and hopefully get humanity from. Just the one that comes out first. But yeah, that... Honestly, I don't know if that's exactly why the game quality was deteriorating as strongly as it was when I was playing League of Legends. But that was why I stopped playing. Was because up to that point, it was at least tolerable enough. It was at least workable enough to where you could play and get good games. But at a certain point, if every game involves somebody leaving, involves somebody giving up, and it's really just it's not about the game itself, it's about who has the better teammates in terms of their mental fortitude, and who has the better teammates in terms of reinforcing the mental fortitude of their teammates. Like, if that's the game that you're asking me to play, I'm not really interested. I want to play the game itself, not this weird metagame that I'm being constructedly forced into by the game company. Like, that's just not enjoyable to me. Like, League of Legends was toxic, don't get me wrong. Like, and addressing Dashing/'s comment, it does tend to be toxic, but there's a level of that toxicity, like verbal toxicity, that you can just ignore. You can either mute it or not pay attention to it, and it's not that big of a deal. The thing is that when it starts to get into gameplay toxicity, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, if I can't mute somebody deciding that they don't want to play the game anymore. I can mute somebody calling me a slur. I can mute somebody saying I'm a terrible player and I should unalive myself or what have you. But I can't mute somebody who decides that they don't want to play the game anymore. And that was ultimately what was the deal breaker for me. It was like, if I'm queuing up, I'm muting all. Like, that's just, I'm going into that with it. Like, you can play well enough without having to verbally communicate with your teammates, and generally speaking, and that was, oh my gosh, that was another hilarious instance of complete tone deafness by Riot Games. Was they banned communicating, like it's called all chat, but basically being allowed to communicate with the enemy team, because they were afraid of the toxicity issues associated with communicating with the enemy team. And it's like, Riot, you clearly do not understand your own game, because the problem with toxicity is not on the enemy team. The problem with toxicity is your own team. There's nothing, like, and unless you just want to not have chat at all, in which case people are just going to learn how to be toxic with emotes, because that's what people do already. The enemy missing ping is infamous, to the point that I'm pretty sure that most people, even people who have never played League of Legends, probably know what I'm talking about with that. The question mark ping, which I've actually pinged myself with that numerous times, because if I make a dumb play, then I tend to be very self-critical in that way. But yeah, and that there's a limit too with that. Oh, Dashing Slasher asked me to refresh him on the ping. So there's a couple of different pings, and they've added some more. I think I was still playing when they added them, but I didn't get comfortable with them. But you can say, hey, like, be careful here, or hey, there's danger here, or there's an enemy missing here. Like, there's just different ways of pinging your allies to let them know information about certain things within the game. Can I not pick this up? Thank you. Okay, we're at 5. I need to at least kill ONS and start making progress towards Seath in order for this to be delivering on the thumbnail. So we're going to go back and we're going to try. I have a faster way of getting up and down through Sen's Fortress now, so hopefully that'll make a difference. But yeah, so there was like a question mark ping that was intended to be used for, hey, there's an enemy missing from this lane or from this location. Make sure that you watch out because they could be coming and ganking. And yeah, they would use the enemy missing as a way of insulting your gameplay. Of like, what the fuck were you doing? So, let's see if I can just bait this guy and not have to deal with him at least. Hey, he didn't hit me. That's kind of surprising. Just run along this side. None of them should drop on me. And it's been memed outside of League of Legends too, where it's just like question mark pings on somebody's head. And that being a way of and you're restricted to, I think it's, I can't remember the exact timeout, but like you're constrained on the number of pings that you can give before it becomes, or before you're stopped from pinging. I think I'm just going to try and run past this. Or, no, I shouldn't. I should kill these guys first. Okay. You die. I'm going to put the wolf ring back on, because poise is broken. But yeah. You would have... Even if you couldn't type in chat, there are ways of being toxic. And so it's not, and maybe that should be another stream topic at some point in the future. Toxicity is not constrained by your ability, like, or it's constrained by your ability to communicate, but people's ability to communicate is incredibly creative. They will, like, if they want to say something mean to somebody else, they will find a way. It's not gonna be an instance where somebody's like, oh no, I can't say anything. I can't be mean to this person. I'm just gonna let it slide. No. They will find a way to be mean, to be toxic to somebody else. They will, like, heck, look at Rocket League, right? What's the line? Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot. Like, people will find ways, even if it's through sarcasm or any other vector that they have, they will find a way to toxically engage with other people. And so rather than trying to take away communication tools from people, I think that the better way of dealing with it is both to try and design your game in a way that not that it discourages toxicity, because I don't think that that's the right approach, but just give people a good game to play. Give them something where they want to be productive with one another, rather than making the core of the game, the core of the metagame, acting destructively towards each other. Towards deciding, oh, does the game company want me to win or want me to lose this time? Because when you start having those thoughts, when you start trying to make those decisions, you've already lost. Like, as the game company, as the player, you've already lost. Do I just run past? Yeah, I just run past. I don't feel like dealing with you guys. You don't give enough souls to be worthwhile. You don't give any good drops. Also, there's Big Hat Logan. Howdy, Big Hat. Overwatch introduced a great toxicity counter back in the day, simply allowing you to commend other players. Game went from pretty toxic to really friendly practically overnight. Yes. And I do know that that does help sometimes. That you want to strive, but what that requires is it requires for folks to have an incentive to want to get those rewards. And to get those rewards potentially even more than other rewards. Like, that's... Oh gosh, that was kind of dumb. Do I want to just kill you? I kind of want to kill you. Not for any other reason than just genocidal impulses. Dashing slash returning the focus from what people were doing wrong to what they were doing right was a game changer. Yes. And that's one of those like game design choices where by changing how you are rewarding and encouraging players, that it completely shifts the metagame. But League of Legends has had, and I don't know, maybe, and this is the other thing, is like, does the genre of the game affect things? Does the player base affect things? Because League of Legends has teamwork, helpful player, GG. I forget what the ones are, but like, there are ways of rewarding people for helpful play. But I think it's just that the attitude of people playing it is so much more focused on elo and so much less focused on those other rewards that it ends up being that they just don't care about the one relative to the other.
I don't know if this is the one that Slasher's talking about, but I remember hearing about a game where you get commended by strangers. Like the more commendations you got from strangers, your elo increase for that match went up.
Ooh.
So that was the structure. I don't know if it was the same one, but it might be a different game where
Okay.
so it encouraged people to solo queue and to do so in a way that got people like to commend you by the end of it. And then if you won, you got way more elo for it.
Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, that makes sense. Also, welcome, Noah. Thank you for joining and saving me from myself.
You're welcome. I ran into the 3-second thing again, and so I was like, I'm just gonna hop in.
F this S.
So this is actually the trick is leave the 3-second thing and people will hop on to the voice call.
Okay. I was originally trying to do it with StreamYard, but I don't know, something was buggy with it and it didn't want to
Well,
play nice.
was it like screen capture with it or?
Yes, but for some reason I'm not entirely sure what the issue was. But it did not want to capture game audio in particular, and I think that it was also a screen cap issue. So I think I'm gonna have to try and do a private stream and figure things out with it then.
Yeah, honestly, I'm at a point where I'm about done with StreamYard.
Yeah.
It blocks basically all the basic functionality off for like the really high tiers.
Mm-hmm.
And did I tell you about how I tried to cancel my subscription? And
No.
oh my gosh, I got so mad. I tried to cancel my subscription, and I thought I did. And you know, I was like, it's expensive now. It's like what, $20 a month for the base price or whatever.
Okay, it's more than that for me.
Oh, it might be more than that. I think it might have been 30 or something actually now, if that's the case.
I think it.
Anyway,
I paid I think 45 for a single month just to like test it out.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's getting
gross.
crazy.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna cancel it. Like I've already paid more than I want to. So I thought I'd cancel it, and then I saw that it kept charging me, and I'm like, okay, this isn't good. So I went back, tried to cancel it again, and then I realized that I thought I had canceled it, but just try canceling a StreamYard account. They force you to like on several different pages to go to the very bottom to press like a very tiny link to say that you actually want to cancel several times in a row. And including on one screen where it says, can you give me a review, like why you're leaving? And then after you press the submit button, you have to go again and say, yes, I still want to cancel my subscription. It's nasty. It's horrible. I did not leave them a very nice review at the end.
No, I would imagine not. Okay, I might have to intentionally go and cancel it immediately after this stream then.
But I mean, as long as you know how to do it, like it's okay. And if you try to cancel it, they might give you a discount, so.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes the most sense, is that somebody who wants to leave your service, that the only thing that's keeping them from leaving is the money.
Oh, it all comes down to money. Don't you know? That's,
I mean, some
that's
of it
what it all
does,
is.
but it's not. It's not all of it.
Well, no, no, it's a joke based off of I was in this training about like liability and everything,
Hmm.
and you know, like like the stuff with like companies who will design stuff poorly, and they are willing to do it if they like are willing to pay the fines, and the fines are cheaper than actually making it safe or something like that.
Yep.
And so we were just going through this training talking about like, hey, that's not ethical, and also that could get you into a lot of trouble with court cases because punitive damages.
Hmm.
But the way punitive damages are explained to the jury during civil cases is something along the lines of like, if it's a death, how much was this person worth? And not in monetary value, but in emotional value to you. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. Of like, oh, okay, the fact that you could even like, I don't know, I would feel dirty even taking any of that money. Like no matter how much it was, that's just gross at that point to me.
Yep.
How much money do we have to give you so you're not sad about your dead father
I
anymore?
mean, that's not the real question. The real question is how much money do we have to give you so you leave us the fuck alone? Oh.
Well, then the question is, right? Like, I mean, the reason why, like, they use punitive damages is because, you know, how else can you punish a company? In our system, it's only through money. And it's like, well, you could maybe threaten the organization itself, but
Well, and the idea is with punitive damages in particular is it's not just about that. It's about how do we discourage people from doing this in the future? Like how do we set a precedent that if you do this thing, you're going to have to pay this amount of money in order to compensate for it.
yeah.
But
Well, and then also, no one's gonna. This is another thing. No one will go to jail for that,
No.
right? That's the other part. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, sometimes if there's like a particular person who has gross negligence on their hands, but generally speaking, yeah, no.
Yeah. But even then, right? You can always push it down to some lower level employee who.
Yeah. Yeah, the person who's
responsible.
actually responsible for it is probably not, or responsible for making the decision is probably not going to be the one who actually suffers for the consequence of making that decision.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Mr. Robot?
I didn't.
Okay.
I know of it, but
That one's a really interesting show.
it seems interesting. All the hacking and stuff, but
I
I
know
never
that,
never got into it.
yeah. What's his name? Pirate Software has spoken negatively about them because apparently
Well, they
uh,
dock somebody.
they doxed somebody because they used a
Not
what was
only,
it?
yeah, they plagiarized and then they dock somebody. That was the combo.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a silly death. Yeah, because I think they stole from like some DEF CON challenge or something like that,
Hmm.
and that had somebody's personal information in it, and so then that person got like an absurd number of phone calls or something like that.
Yeah. What was his personal phone number?
Yeah.
And they didn't even credit him or
No,
anything.
of course not. Why would
And they
why
just
would
put
you?
it into their random ARG.
I'm blaming this on me having a grotesque start of a stream, and so my mental state has just never recovered. That's why I just died stupidly to a Silver Knight. Definitely not because I'm just bad at video games.
It's not because I'm distracting you or anything. It's
You're not distracting me that much, I don't think.
oh, okay.
Honestly, it's helpful more than anything else because trying to yap enough to keep things moving in a semi-entertaining way. Magic Conch is a gated community? What? Hang on. We're going to try and get Dashing Slasher in here too. I thought I gave you voice chatter. Is Baby Jail a restrictive role? Hang on. we're gonna try and solve this. we're gonna try and resolve this before we keep going. Can I? Okay, he's watching. That's what it says. Maybe create invite. Can I invite you directly? That's the real question.
Yeah, I think baby jail prevents you from getting in, maybe, or you have to.
The thing is that like permissions for Discord seem to work additively, and for some reason it's not letting me like right click on that role.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. I invited you directly, so hopefully you'll be able to get into general chat now.
You could make another voice chat and then be able to
Lord.
drag them into this one.
Oh Lord.
One that they would be able to access.
Can I create a channel?
It's a
Voice.
baby jail voice chat.
Baby jail. Magic Conch, Baby Jail. Okay, if you join Baby Jail, if you can, I should be able to bring you in. Permissions, overview, view channel. Okay, let me just. Can I remove that? Is that a thing? No, you're not making things complicated. I am just boomering it up, and it's a good time.
This is something that has to get smoothed out eventually, so better now than never.
Doing it live. No, I don't want you to manage the things. Hang on. View. Connect. Speak. Maybe not video. Use voice. Save changes. Can you join Baby Jail? And then I can move you in. Maybe. Let me also message my my handler and see if she can help with this.
You're not going to escape the Fed allegations if you talk like that.
I mean, definitely not, considering that Mrs. Pilotson is technically a Fed. So.
Yep. I'll do it.
There you go. There you go, Grizz. There's your clip. Oh, I can't parry with a friggin' sword. What am I doing? There we go. Alright, we'll see if Mr. Slasher could come in, or if my handler can...
I think you can drag Slasher in now. Slasher's in the baby jail VC.
Let's see, yeah. Drag and drop. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
Well, I exist now.
You exist. You're a person.
Indeed.
How do you feel now that you're a person?
Oh boy, this is going to be so interesting. Okay. Not be able to hear myself?
Well, you're just in time for me to make the first ONS attempt of the stream. Now that we are, what, an hour and 40 minutes in.
Oh boy. Yeah, I couldn't resist. I really do love Dark Souls and also philosophy at the same time. So
That's good.
this is exactly the kind of thing. Like, I'm a bit of an introvert, but
Oh.
saying all these things that are resonating with me.
I might play an extrovert well, but I am very much an introvert as well. So
You play one on TV.
I play one on TV. I play one on YouTube. Am I not? I'm not unhollowed. That's upsetting. Did I actually waste a freaking humanity? I think I did.
You died with humanity.
I
didn't
died
you?
while human, yeah. That was,
Oh
okay.
boy.
Well, I got 4 more tries.
Yeah.
See, I recognize this castle not from this game, but from Dark Souls 3.
Yep. That's where I first saw it too.
I've never actually played Dark Souls 3. I've had it in my Steam
haven't?
library for a long time, but I tried Dark Souls 2 for a while, and that just, I don't know. It's not the same.
I only beat Dark Souls 2, I believe last month or the month before.
Mm.
I'd beaten all of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just such a clunky game for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
There's a lot
is. The fact that they fundamentally changed how dodging works in it really
Oh, is
really
that
didn't resonate with the community.
what I
Yeah.
can blame on the fact that I'm bad at the game?
Yeah, one of the stats is like the amount of iframes you get.
Yep.
I did not
For-
realize
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Unlike every other FromSoft game that has rolling, that game specifically tied your iframes to a stat as opposed to your item weight.
Well, also the dark wood grain ring in this game?
Oh yeah, doing
Technically.
flips and shit, man.
Yeah, flips, doing flips and shit as I eat shit.
Bring out your inner weeb.
And oh my god, I hope I don't die again then, because I am bad at this game. Okay. We're just gonna try and go
Have
for
free
backstab.
whole humanity, man. You're fine.
Uh,
It only takes 3 tries to beat Ornstein and Smo.
did you catch my last stream?
I certainly did.
Okay. Alright.
Have you tried the humanity restored squats yet? Grim says in chat.
Humanity restored squats. I'm not sure what that is. Also, I almost died because I was reading chat instead of paying attention to what I was doing. Because I thought I got the parry off. And I
This
did
is not a game where you have to pay attention.
No, you can. It's an idle game. You can just have it running in the background and do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Idle, you died.
Okay.
Yeah,
gonna
Slack
go-
actually beat Dark Souls 2 before me.
That's great. I still have not, and I don't know. I should play Dark Souls 3 because I've heard that one they undid all the stupid decisions they made for Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 is, of the 3 Dark Souls, my favorite.
Okay.
It's pretty well polished.
It's very, very good. It's also the one that I played the most mods of.
The little squat. Oh, the humanity restored squat in front of the bonfire. That's what he's talking about.
Yes, the actually enabling your humanity.
Alright, let's summon... Actually, let me kill the giant knights first. And then we'll get Solaire going.
Well, I'm just ready for 2 years from now when you're done with Dark Souls. We can get to Sekiro.
Oh my gosh.
So the next games that I'm thinking... Oh gosh, that was not great. The next games I'm thinking of are It Takes Two, if Mrs. Pilotson is willing to play along. Or maybe Undertale, if she isn't. Okay, I thought I could get the hit off without getting tagged by
Boy.
him, but apparently not.
Oh, yeah, you're really embracing the jank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least in the boss fight, you won't have to fight 2 guys at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course not. I should know better.
And if
should
you
know
did,
better.
they certainly wouldn't be any harder than 2 guys with some shields and a halberd.
Why are you guys so mean? I didn't
Did you
drop my
kindle the
shield. Why did that
bonfire
go
you were
through it?
resting at?
God, I'm gonna have to go back to the bonfire after this. Okay, I'm just gonna run back to the bonfire and try not to die in the meantime.
Because if you haven't kindled that bonfire, getting some extra Estus flask uses is quite useful.
Yeah, I haven't killed Pinwheel yet, so that's gonna be a little hard to do.
You haven't killed Pinwheel?
No, well, I mean, I just haven't gone back down to the catacombs yet. Yeah. I don't know why I went up this staircase instead of the other one. No, we're not squatting again just yet, Grizz. We're going back so we don't have to squat.
You're squatting so that you don't need to squat again later.
I'm sitting so I don't need to squat.
Yeah.
Lord. So, Slasher, did you play League of Legends back in the day? Or do you still play?
I played so incredibly briefly. I couldn't even tell you what year that I played League of Legends.
Well, what was the champion on this champ select screen when you logged in? That'll give us an idea.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's been such a long time. Like, probably like 10 years or more.
Grizz says Heimerdinger. That's a long one.
That one did exist. I remember that one existing.
I think the one that stands out in my mind was Lysandra. I played a lot longer after that, but that was like one of the like core memory ones for me.
Look, I will fully admit I was never really good at League of Legends.
Okay, when you say that, what rank were you? Because there's a lot of ranks at which you can say I was not that good at the game.
I don't think I had a rank. I don't believe I played ranked.
Okay. You just played the... You were still trying to level up to the point where you could play ranked?
Possibly.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't play that long.
Okay. Just long enough to realize that you didn't like it and you didn't want to play it anymore?
Well, long enough to realize that I did not enjoy the community that I was in.
You don't enjoy being told to self-unsubscribe from life?
Yes. I much preferred to be subscribed to life.
Okay. Well, you can stay subscribed to life. It's just that there's going to be other people who tell you to not be subscribed from life anymore.
I do know that I enjoyed playing... Was it Jinx?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that was
We're talking the same language then. She was one of the champions that I mained for a lot of the time that I did play.
Very fun champion.
Yeah.
But the closest game that I really got into that was like that was Heroes of the Storm, because at the time, I was a Blizzard fanboy.
At the time.
At the time.
I've got to caveat that.
Mm-hmm. I was an avid Blizzard, or I was an avid Diablo lover when Blizzard asked whether or not I have phones. And, you know, I took that
like in your
personally.
house.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, do you guys not have phones? And then, you know, that whole game came out, and that was a big old doozy.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Mr. Foxman? What's your MMO experience been like?
I played SWTOR back in the day, a little bit.
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
And I played it like a BioWare RPG.
Okay.
Until I had to pay for it, and then I was like, I'm not doing that. So I never got further than that.
Fair enough.
And then I played WoW for about an hour. And
Decided you didn't want to do that anymore.
yeah, like I Most of like those like big multiplayer games other than CS:GO, I've not spent any time in.
Yeah, I think the only MMO that I really got into was Final Fantasy 14.
I hear it's really good.
It's really good. I guess the current expansion is getting some criticism, but I haven't played in a while, so I'm not current on that. It's a really good slow burn story for an MMO that I've just never seen that before.
I kind of wish I liked live service games, but I've just never gotten into it.
Yeah, MMOs are definitely a hard sell for me, and most live service games are.
Sorry, I'm gonna focus for a minute here, guys. My butthole will be clenched.
The clenchiest.
Ooh, we could do multiplayer Elden Ring when it comes out.
I mean, you can you do summons in Elden Ring or no?
You can. There's also a multiplayer mod, but there's a new game coming out. It's like a multiplayer roguelite.
Okay.
Elden Ring.
I found out that my computer can't run Elden Ring.
Oh,
Apparently. It's okay, my PS5 can.
well, that's good.
And you want to play that with a controller anyway, so it's not really bad to have it on a console.
No.
But I am missing out
Yeah,
on
boy.
great mods.
Oh,
Please tell
Man,
me I
you're
didn't just
great,
die. Please tell me I didn't just die.
I think you survived, right? It wouldn't play the cutscene if you
cutscene?
died.
I hope so. That's gonna be the worst cock tease. If it plays the cutscene and then it gives the you died screen.
This is basically like a Mortal Kombat animation if that's the case. Oh.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that's so perfect. Okay. Well, we're gonna go and we're gonna grab that and we're gonna homeward bone and we're gonna use it because I don't want to
love
waste
how I'm
humanity.
like 5 seconds behind you guys on this.
Oh my lord.
Oh, I'm watching in the Discord server.
Yeah, it's a little bit
that-
choppier in Discord, but it's better than having a delay.
That's probably the better way to do this.
It is funny to watch it on YouTube though at the same time. And yeah.
Oh. Also, yeah, Grizz, I'm aware of City of Heroes, but I never really tried it. The buff debuff for character creation was definitely an interesting feature of it, and one that I kind of wish was implemented in other places where you would like intentionally give yourself like blindness or deafness in order to min-max it, but I don't know that anything else has really done that. And yeah, the best thing about an MMO is you can dick around and fish all day and it helps your friends. Yeah. Yeah. Or you can sit around asking what levels other people are and then enjoy that. I'm assuming you guys have played RuneScape at some point.
Oh yeah.
For like an hour.
For only an hour, really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Dodged
I
an
was
addiction
a poor
there.
kid at one point.
Fortnite?
I never played Fortnite. One of... Have either... So, okay. You probably haven't, Noah, and actually, no, neither of you probably have because you never got deep enough into League of Legends. There was a streamer that I followed pretty regularly called Mark Neese, and he did a lot of coaching streams for League of Legends. And it was... Oh god, let me just not die, grab my bloodstain. Okay, roll to dodge, use the bone, get out of here. Hey, we actually got it done. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
God damn. Alright. Reverse hollowing. Give ourselves another point in vitality. No,
Also, high slack.
Oh, Slack came in?
Very sneaky.
Hey! How's it going, Mr. Slicarius?
Just Saturday night things.
I didn't see you in chat. I was wondering where you at. Yes, that squat. We know, Gris. Is that going to be one of the things for Midwestuary? Is that I have to do that particular squat on stage?
In front of Jonathan Peugeot.
In front. Jonathan Peugeot will play as the bonfire. Okay, let's not die stupidly. I tried to parry and it did not work, so we're just gonna back out and drink Estus, and then we're gonna kill you. There we go.
I think the scariest thing that could happen at Midwestuary is like someone saying they've heard of me before.
Oh god.
That is the most terrifying sentence.
So one of the things that Grizz mentioned about going to Peugeot's Symbolic World Conference was that whole like having people look at you like they know who you are, but they don't want to come up and talk to you. And I feel like that's going to be the case for a lot of us for Midwestuary.
Also, thank you, Grim, for mentioning Rafe Kelly, because I still need to invite him to stuff.
What?
I have already,
Okay,
but
like,
he's been busy
re-invite.
lately.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. I had people tell me like, oh, it was nice for you to keep sending me messages. I'm like, oh, is that what a normal person does? Like they continue to remind you after you say no the first time? Okay.
Well, especially if there's somebody who is busy.
That's how I convinced my wife.
God bless.
True.
This is key.
Oh my god, I just dropped a fucking humanity.
See, you could have used that
Cringe.
humanity to kindle your bonfire.
Oh,
But-
by the way, something for you to look forward to, Mr. Foxman. Ups and I did another 30 minutes recording that ended up being more like a 70 minutes recording today. And I didn't say it in the moment because it didn't really fit into the flow of the conversation, and the guy who we were talking to wouldn't have had any idea what I was talking about. But your cringe video was very much in my mind for a moment. You'll know
Good.
where I'm talking about when you see it.
Have I mentioned that before? That idea about putting like what's the word for it? What did I call it?
I don't know.
Disclaimers.
Oh,
About
yeah.
disclaimers before.
I don't think you have, or at least I don't remember hearing it from you before.
I've ranted about it to, I think, everybody in my real life
Okay.
or my IRL life.
Your IRL life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Can I not be fucking retarded? That would be great.
But
I keep trying to parry when I really should just be trying to kill these guys.
I mean, they are very parryable, but I mean, it's not necessarily the best way to do it.
Well, the problem is that it unnecessarily undermines your own argument, your own perspective. And
yeah,
it's something that I've struggled with a lot too, and something that I've actually admonished other people before and continue to struggle with it myself. So, I don't know.
well, for example, I ran into it again with like a day or two ago. I was watching like shorts, and shorts are relatively short, and this woman started off the short by saying, to start this off, I do not approve of anything that J.K. Rowling says or does or anything.
She's a transphobe.
And She did it for like literally 30 seconds, like making sure everybody was clear that she did not like J.K. Rowling. And it was just like an analysis piece on like Harry Potter. It was not even about her. It was about Harry Potter.
Yep.
And it's like what was the point of this?
The point was,
It just-
I don't want to get canceled.
I think it's simultaneously wanting to like not be canceled, but then also wanting to show everybody that I have the right like opinion.
Yep.
Oh,
That was a trick shot. The trick is you died.
I unblocked so I could press A to pick up the bloodstain.
you got the bloodstain.
I had a the bloodstain didn't have any humanity, so I don't know why I was so
got the
focused on trying to pick
bloodstain.
up the bloodstain. Just, you know.
You
I'm-
task succeeded failingly.
Oh my gosh. If I can't get this one, I might actually not get to Seath, and I will not have delivered on the thumbnail, and that will be in violation of the rules of engagement. I don't know. We'll see.
I guess you'll just have to keep going forever until you do that.
Just keep playing until we deliver on the thumbnail.
No breaks. No
Oh,
bio
man.
breaks. Just get in there.
Just
get
go.
it done.
Yeah. You should just go back to Gaping Dragon.
Just go. I can't do that.
And
until I
most
do New Game
importantly, you
Plus.
can't give Grim the greatest chest in Dark Souls history.
No, which is very disappointing. Which, I mean, I hope that he knows what we're talking about with that, but
It
maybe
is
not.
an amazing chest.
Oh my lord.
An extremely real, amazing chest.
Definitely not an illusion conjured by her brother, who is still alive when she's dead.
I don't know why my mind went to Hermes. I thought you were gonna say conjured by Hermes.
Conjured by Hermes Trismegistus.
Yeah, Hermes is known for conjuring things.
Is he known for? Oh, can I just run past this person? Actually,
You
Let's
you
see.
absolutely can't. You can actually like do a little jump off the the spiral staircase and not have to fight any of them.
Well, that's more for like speedrunning tactics, though. Now that I've gotten that whole situation unlocked, it's not quite so necessary. Get out of the chair, do that squat. I guarantee you'll get to the thumbnail, man.
Okay, actually, I correct myself. I think the scariest thing for Midwestuary would be for Vicky walking up to you and saying, Hermes told me about you.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I don't even want to think about that. Especially not after the Rudyard drama.
That was such a good 5.5 hours at 2x speed.
You actually watched it.
Yes.
Wait, what was this?
Do you want to describe it, Slack? Since you watched it.
The what if alt hist guy had like a, let's just say, mental breakdown that he streamed for like 10 hours, but it wasn't really a stream because it looked like it was filmed across several days. And he just
Oh.
decided, hey, it's Christmas Eve, I'm gonna put this up and tell everyone how Odin and Hermes have sent me to save the world or something, and I'm very upset that I have to do it, but you know, something it was very, very impressive.
It was wild.
Interesting.
Well, and he also went into some very
He has a sword.
strong details about personal history things that most people would not be willing to talk about on camera.
Got it. I have never heard of What If All Hist. I think I may have heard of him once. Like, I think Christian Baxter might have brought him up or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
I haven't watched too much of his stuff, but it's one of those, like, I'm vaguely aware of this person because of stuff. Also, yeah, Grizz is saying in chat, but if you go and watch his, I think the latest stream, maybe 2 back, he covers
Okay.
all this stuff, so you can get a general idea of it, although I don't think he goes into the particularly juicy details that most people were like, what the actual fuck about, so...
Sorry, Grizz. I'll
He
watch
kind
the
of got
stream.
one shot by ayahuasca, and I don't know if he's coming back, man.
Yeah...
Yeah,
I don't
saw
think
the
it was the
first
ayahuasca
video
that
that
did it,
came
man.
up.
Sorry.
The first video that came up when I looked up what if alt hissed is he must be locked up. What if alt hissed dangerous?
I mean, he's definitely got some stuff going on. We'll just leave it at that. I don't
And
want
the
to go into
thumbnail says
details.
lock him up, and then there's a arrow pointing to an image of a AI generated deity, and then it points and says worships Odin.
Yeah, it's honestly the supernatural stuff is one thing, but that's not the one. The Grizz is pointing to it, but the one shot was more of a family issue. Anyway, we're gonna stop talking about that. But yeah, if John Vervaeke came up and was like, "Yeah, Hermes told me about you, and he told me to specifically come and talk to you," I don't know what I would do if that was what happened.
Oh, me too. I'm a huge fan.
You're a huge fan of Hermes, a huge fan of Vervaeke? Like, what are we talking here?
Who knows?
No, he's just literally a huge fan.
Oh, like the Koreans believe that if they left him on at night, they would die?
Sure.
Okay. Slack probably gets that. I don't know if anybody else here does.
Mm-hmm.
There's a superstition about fan death in Korea, where if you leave a fan on while you're sleeping, it's believed that it will pull your soul out of your body or something like that.
I seem to remember
So-
something like even in America.
Chops
There's a
up
bit
the air too fine, and you can't breathe anymore and suffocate.
That's right.
Hey, Grimgriz.
Oh, is he in the Discord?
Mhm.
Okay.
He is now.
I thought he said he was gonna be indisposed. But yeah. Now I wouldn't even call it. I mean, it's drama a little bit, but it's not like. There we go. Alright, let's summon Solaire and hope to God that we can actually get the kill on this run, because Lord, I don't want to deal with this again. So what are your guys' thoughts on the horribly disjointed stream thoughts at the beginning about how it's not about mechanics, it's about the choices that you make with the mechanics?
It's like the Luke streams. We don't watch the first 45 minutes or so.
Wow. I see how it is.
I always feel bad for Luke. Because he has a bunch... every time he wants people to talk about what he's talking about. And then T-Grod comes on and has his thing, and... you know, I come on and I just sit in the background, not talking the entire time.
Go help that orange man. Look at that.
Yeah, he's not
Just gonna
like
let
so-
Solaire do the whole job for you?
I mean, basically, yes.
You're supposed to be hitting them while he does that, though.
I mean, I'm trying.
Standing there. Word
I'm
for
surprised he can
fireball.
pull the focus for both of them.
I'm starting to pull the focus.
There
now.
we go.
Although really just with fireballs, not actually any significant damage. There we go. Can I get a heal
I'll
off?
kill the rooster man.
Yes.
kill the
Oh my
rooster
lord.
man.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
He's
the
actually a
old
lion
no clip
man.
through
He's
the
not a
wall.
rooster man. And Slayer's coming over to help me with him.
This is like Dark Sun.
Oh my lord! I at least don't get the game over screen after dying. That's a nice touch. Can we get the kill? Oh my lord.
Oh,
No.
Not
If
that
we
bad.
are the bad guys, we
Oh
certainly can.
man.
I think you really need to focus on one of them, because I think after you kill one of them, the other one goes back to full health anyway.
Yeah, they do. They do. Well, at
Mind
least
you,
we
Get
have.
out of your chair and do the squat.
Okay, hang on. I'll rest at the bonfire as I'm doing that.
I realize that is much easier said than done.
I'm gonna take my headphones off, so y'all be good for a second. Don't do anything that's like
we're
TOS.
I think it's true, though. I think, like, if you do the humanity squat, you should be able to defeat these guys.
So this is the part where we should probably discuss the secret of all
it's like you're so quiet.
That's because my mic was up
Suddenly
over my
becomes
head.
Okay.
Y'all didn't talk about anything too naughty while I was gone, did you?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
No. Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Flip it.
Just
Nothing
whether or
that
not-
got Luke's stream banned or anything.
Clip it and ship it.
Gosh.
Not Luke's stream.
I actually took my headphones. Oh, do you not know about that?
Wait, did something happen on
Nope.
Luke's stream?
Luke got one of his streams banned because somebody mentioned the V word that you're not supposed to talk about relative to the whole thing that happened in 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they did it worse. If I understand correctly, it was because they invented a new one and said it was coming out as like a joke. And like a new one with the whatever effect, and that was.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not
getting
supposed to
what
talk
the-
about that apparently.
Alright.
Is that one stream still up? The one that was on Chad's channel that we all thought was gonna get banned?
I think that one's still up. I think that one didn't end up getting taken down for some reason.
Bizarre.
Yeah. Capricious, the YouTube gods are.
I love it when I get the email from like one from 2 years ago. It's like, oh, by the way, this is copyright. Can't monetize.
Somebody went through and claimed this on me, and you guys just are being dicks about it. Okay. Serpentine, serpentine.
I honestly thought they'd take me out like before I hit 1,000.
Well, cause you're not as bad as you were back in the Truther days, but you've definitely touched on some stuff that they tend to be a bit sensitive towards.
Maybe I've made special friends along the way.
Or maybe
Do you
you're
get all
towing
of
line
the,
just enough.
Wikipedia articles still linked under your streams?
I think anybody does that stuff.
I don't know that I've ever caught a card. Maybe one or two.
Interesting. I'm always curious to see like where
triggers
they
it?
put those. Yeah, like at what point do they add those to your video?
Usually before I see it.
Oh, should we? Oh, do you guys want to talk about some stuff that we'll see if I can catch a climate change card?
Sure, why not?
While we're
You're talking
on
about climate change. You just can't talk about the hockey stick guy.
the Mr. Rhythm.
It might be. There's like this whole thing. He's like a. They've sued the journalists that have covered his hockey stick bullshit.
No shit.
To silence them and shit. Dead.
The thing for me that's always been a point of fascination, or I guess two things. One of them is that never gets talked about. Rubisco is a dumb protein.
What the hell is
Nabisco.
Rubisco?
Rubisco. So if you look up Rubisco,
Why would they do that?
oh fuck, it's the Calvin cycle, right? Krebs cycle is metabolism. I'm
You
not
have
sure
to
if
get to
I'm
the
remembering it correctly.
punchline. You're in a domain no one's familiar with.
Okay. So if you look up the actual like process of photosynthesis of like what the the proteins are that are required, and the steps of like how things are actually formed into sugars from carbon dioxide and water. One of the really key proteins is something called rubisco. And rubisco, like most proteins, can have a reaction rate that is independent of the concentration of the stuff that it's reacting with, but not rubisco. Rubisco is still dependent on or its rate of reaction is dependent on the concentration of the carbon dioxide that it's reacting with. And so what that means is that if you have a higher concentration of carbon dioxide, photosynthesis occurs at a faster rate. And I'm going to try and not die to this guy. Can I target him, please? Holy crap.
Gonna die to gravity before you die to him.
I mean, maybe. If I... Oh my... Slack!
Nailed it.
Why did you say that?
Live.
That was me.
You could have fought out of that. You were fine.
I couldn't have. They got me out of... Like, there's... Zap got me as I was coming out of Stunlock.
Now, to be fair, it wasn't the gravity that killed you this time.
I mean, that's true, but come on. It was close enough.
You bet your Rubisco.
Bet my Rubisco, that's true.
I wonder if you need the Rubisco to make your Sunny D flasks.
Isn't Rubisco the company that makes the Oreos?
I was gonna say the vegetable shortening.
No, that's Hydrox.
That's... What's that vegetable shortening called again?
Crisco.
Crisco, that's right. Yeah. So
The best place to get most up-to-date vaccinations is at the
oh, what other TOS things can we try it on just to piss off?
There was
the
an
YouTube
election
gods
that occurred back in November.
of 20.
I don't know the result. Will anyone ever know the result? The answer is yes.
How can anybody know the results of anything?
How can anybody know the results of any election?
I'm certain the butler didn't do it.
1 + 1
And
+
then-
2 + 1.
We can start talking about
Well, let's
Cybertrucks
didn't
next
win.
if you guys want.
Oh man. Is that too
That'd be some
recent to be
fireworks.
bannable, or are they? Do you think they already have that on the radar?
I don't know. Is
guys
that
catch
one
that
guy's
Sean
podcast still up?
What'd you say, Chris?
I said, did you guys catch that Sean Ryan stuff?
That's what I was going to talk about.
No, what happened with Sean Ryan?
Oh, Sean Ryan made a podcast about the whole thing. Grim,
Sean
you
Ryan,
can go
the
into it.
ex-CIA guy, I think. Is it not Sean Ryan, the ex-CIA guy?
No, you're right. Sean Ryan.
Had some other ex-CIA guy come on and say he got an email from the guy that was in the truck from the day before the truck.
Oh goody.
And that email said that it's China checkmate over New Jersey.
Oh goody. With the
China
drone
checkmate.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what he said it was.
It was weird that it seemed like he didn't understand what a gravitational weapon was. Because in my
I didn't
mind, I
watch
think it's pretty
it.
easy. It's a payload. Like it's just a dropping a payload, but they thought it was anti-gravitational. Was what was being referred to in the email.
Well, the thing is, if they got anti-grav flight, then they have positive grav weaponry, right?
Hmm. I just assumed that it was like not modifying the gravitational force. It was just like
Utilizing it.
literally just dropping something.
Taking advantage of it.
Gravity
Yeah.
versus guided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those showed up over at Dutch Harbor today on Twitter. Whatever that's worth.
Hmm.
Dutch Harbor, is that?
I think this is the year this might be the year humanity finds out it's not alone, though.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about Demir's astrological prognostications?
It's fun it gives you a date to look forward to, like checking, right?
Yeah. March 1st or just before, depending on exactly how the alignments work.
If I'm not wrong, I caught an eclipse on the 28th, and I watched for those.
28th of February?
March.
March, okay. Well, that's the other major alignment from what he was saying. Was one at the beginning of March and then one at the end of March.
It's like the thing where Biden comes out to tell us about Ukraine at 2:22 p.m. on February 22nd. It's just like,
Well, that's one of the really interesting things to me is like even if that kind of numerology doesn't actually have some level of like applicability at the natural level, there
at least
seems
troll
to
the
be a
conspiracy theories
lot of
with it.
people in powerful positions that very much do believe that that's the case.
Well, I mean, our brains are designed to recognize patterns.
Mm-hmm. But are they designed to play into patterns that have been recognized by others?
Oh yeah. All of the above.
Okay.
That's why faces and things is a thing.
That's why Santa is real.
Santa is real. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you,
Exactly.
a Santa denier?
Santa deniers when they think that their dad slapped Arius in what, like the 200s.
Of course, Santa's real. There's a song about it and everything.
There's loads of songs about it. I saw my mommy kissing Santa Claus, don't you know?
That was a big scandal.
I'm surprised that they're still married, my mom and my dad.
I really hated that song as a kid.
Yeah?
Yeah, I still
that?
do.
Why is that?
It's just, you know, implied
You don't want
infidelity
that?
in
Yeah.
Christmas music.
Just Christmas infidelity, you know, what could be
Oh,
more in the spirit?
Grizz, do we want to...
Santa Claus cucked my dad.
Yeah, we need to have more explicit Christmas songs in that vein.
Oh, man, Don't make me go there, guys. Don't make me go there. Grizz is already trying to pull me there. I don't want to go there.
You
I
know,
got one.
Baby It's Cold Outside is a little too conservative for me.
Too It's kind of rapey, you know?
Kind of.
It's not rapey
Sure.
at all, and anybody who thinks that it is ridiculously under-socialized.
You haven't heard the
I'd like
Genghis
to have
Khan
just the
Christmas
most
song.
extreme opinions about these things.
So pretty much anyone under the age of, I don't know. I really don't know. What are
numbers
ages
like-
now?
Well, I mean...
Do you
Pick what generation you're gonna piss off, Slag.
No, it's like after us, like everybody's been infantilized, right? So basically everybody's 22.
Well, not everybody. Like, okay, here's an interesting idea. What if you have like small groups of people who are uninfantilized because they were brought up by people who recognized what was being done to them, and they consciously chose to do like god mask initiation rituals with either their kids or the younger people in their community.
All right, well, so what game do they play?
What do you mean when you say what game do they play?
Well, like the same thing is like you grow your own food, then what?
Control your own food, control your own water, control your own electricity, and then start to encourage people to do the same, I think.
And hope they don't find lithium under where you live.
I mean, ideally, if you can get yourself set up properly, then even if they decide to do some cloud seeding operations and throw a hurricane at you, then you'll still be okay at the end of the day.
No, because if they want the land you're on, you're not ever gonna be okay.
They will drink your milkshake.
Well, there's a question of...
They're gonna drink your
They're gonna
milkshake.
drink your milkshake. They drink it up!
That's some of the. I think we do need to give like a movie list. People,
Of, like,
you know,
How to
lots
properly...
of them younger.
Yeah.
Well, Alan had a TLC movie list he was managing for a while. I think it's still up.
be curious to see that.
I mean, I think he gave out the passwords. People have just been adding stuff to it.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Like spamming stuff or like actually like
No,
adding
like
good stuff.
yeah, he has a whole thing about you're only allowed to add like 2 movies per genre and
Okay.
find it again, but
That was something that Ups actually talked to me about today, was that his dad apparently was a real cinemaphile.
nope, Cinephile's right.
Cinephile.
Okay. And watched a ton of movies and then shared just like the couple of good gems that he was able to find. And the thing that it made me think of was how a lot of the folks, especially in the corner, watch a ton of YouTube content and then are kind of trying to just find and then share not necessarily only like the best of the best, but trying to at least have some level of discernment about what gets shared, that to make sure that it's actually somewhat worthwhile.
I have on my channel I have a playlist that I've been putting together recently called Movies for a Bad Day or When I Need Inspiration. And they're just kind of the better videos I've seen on YouTube.
Any particular
At least
themes,
recently.
or just like
Lots of video essays,
Okay.
but I have a few from, like, I have Neil and Nick Mo's second conversation on there. PVK's Miley Cyrus video from way back, where he just reads Ethel's story, or whatever her name is, the old woman in the retirement home. Or in hospice, I think.
Yeah, that was such a good one.
But, yeah.
Esther or something, I think.
That sounds right.
Mr. O'Reilly?
Let me see if he posted
The one where it was this old
Mabel.
lady in a retirement. Mabel, that's what it was.
Mabel's her name.
Who was like not doing so well physically, but still just had so much love in her heart.
Well, I don't think she could do anything. Like, she was in a wheelchair.
She was
I think she was
physically-
blind.
Yep.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, she was blind.
Mostly missing a face, as I understood it.
Yeah. That's also what I remember as well.
But she still was just this fantastic person to talk with and be around, and just you could see her soul shine through her conditions. Yeah.
And then the whole comparison was to Miley Cyrus.
I don't remember that part.
Oh, it was out of the the time when Flowers was getting popular again. I think it was like out of a Grammy performance she did.
Oh, okay.
And then Paul was looking at the lyrics for Flowers and was comparing the two of like, I can take care of myself. I'm my own god. And then you have Mabel, who is in like the worst situation, and it's the
And
other
trusts that
angle
God will
on it.
take care of her. Yeah.
Why are you farming rats?
Because they drop humanity.
Yep. Only way to get humanity in a consistent manner.
Why do you need more humanity?
Because I want to have Solaire with me as I'm fighting Ornstein and Smo, because I can't fight them by myself because I'm a scrub.
Yeah, he can't do the
Oh,
humanity
so you
squad
need more.
unless he's
You
got
gotta
humanity.
kill rats to summon the glowy guy you let die all the time.
Yes.
If you think about it, this could be a skill issue as well.
I mean, it is definitely a skill issue. I've definitely killed Ornstein and Smo by myself before too. I don't know.
Doesn't count with a different build.
I'm gonna call it stream debuff.
I mean, technically, this is pretty close to the build. That's good for beating him. But do you have Firestorm yet?
No, I didn't spend that many souls or time upgrading my fire glove. So
plays a pyromancer who found a big sword and quit being a pyromancer.
Yeah.
Fair
See,
enough.
Grizz knows the lore. Speaking of, let's just kill this with a fireball. Can you not fall down? Can you come towards me? And I hit the wall. That's great.
You see why I quit being a pyromancer.
it's hard being a
Fireball
fireball.
is very janky.
Combustion is a much better spell. I just haven't gotten it.
It also has like such crap range.
It does, but it at least is consistent.
So what was that about Nabisco? Are you making a point?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Rubisco. The point that I was trying to make with it was that the higher the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the higher the rate of photosynthesis for at least land-based plants, because the ocean-based cyanobacteria and plankton, their main constraining factor is the concentration of iron in seawater. But for land-based plants, the higher the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the faster the rate of photosynthesis. So there is a pretty hard cap on how concentrated carbon dioxide can get in the atmosphere before it starts to actually not be allowed to go any higher. And that's something that's just never talked about, as far as I've been able to see.
So much of it just boils down to anti-life.
Yeah, it's making excuses for what they want to have as the conclusion, and it's just really frustrating when there's plenty of other stuff to take into consideration on a scientific basis that's like, hey, this might get bad, but I don't think it's going to get as catastrophically bad as you guys are trying to make it out to be. But you can't bring those objections up, because if you try to, then you get ratioed, or you get carded, or people just don't take you seriously because, oh, you're one of those weird guys who's just trying to disprove something that's a commonly known scientific fact. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to disagree with the idea that like the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is rising. That's a clearly measurable fact. But you guys are putting a moral or ethical valence on that I don't think is correct or appropriate.
The way you argue also matters too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not
you
gonna
don't.
bring anybody over to your side by just dismissing what they say out of hand.
I have to,
It's-
though. Like
It's so
It's
much
all
more
a
rhetorically
giant
effective if I
lie.
do that.
it's all a giant lie. People who are anti-life.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you get into the argument level of like, oh, but they haven't considered this fact. It's like they're not considering any of the facts. This is a planet that has ice ages.
Well,
Oh
the
no,
ice
global.
ages that are
Yeah.
determined by the sun's activity too, not by anything to do with concentrations of gases in the atmosphere.
Like, you don't exercise control over the climate, even if you can cloud seed.
Well, you can potentially,
out
like
of
that's the
control.
thing. Like there is some degree of there being a potential of having control over the climate, but I don't.
Control and influence are two very different things.
That is true.
I'll agree. I'll give you influence though. So like whatever the hell, what you call it, up in Alaska was doing to the ionosphere,
Mhm.
they now can do with the cell towers
Mhm.
on a like global scale. So, but I don't know, precision hurricanes, right?
Yep. Well, and that, I don't know. I mean, that's getting kind of into that. To bring it back, getting into, you can figure out mechanics to do whatever you want to do in a game. If you have a particular outcome that you want to achieve, somebody is gonna find a way to work the mechanics to make it so that that thing happens. Like, if they want to make it so that they can create catastrophic climate, somebody will find a way to do that. Somebody will find a way to make it so that hurricanes get worse over a particular area. And so the question isn't, can you do it? The question is, should you do it, or what do you do knowing that somebody else is trying to do that? But that gets very complicated very quickly.
Just hang out with your friend and have a good time until you get swept up in something bigger than you.
Fair enough.
Isn't that Ecclesiastes, basically?
I don't know. I haven't read it. I stick to the Gospels and Revelation. It's hard to trust humans to include the right things in a book.
Ecclesiastes is pretty base, though.
Ecclesiastes
Yeah,
is
your
very
Proverbs and Psalms and all that are good too.
based. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Oh, that's going to be another fun one. As a little sneak preview for the next 30 minutes episode, I ended up talking about the spells in Bleach. Oh, man. It actually was kind of topical, too, because it's this idea of if you cite a reference, if you cite just the short version of a reference, then that has a certain level of power, but if you cite like the whole reference, that has another level of power associated with it.
Oh, man, how many weaves can this corner support?
I mean, apparently at least what? You, me, Foxman, Grizz, do you count yourself as weeb or not?
I'm
I
not
don't
a
even know
weeb.
what the word means, bro.
Weeaboo?
No.
No? Okay, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
I got better.
I got better. I got better.
How is that tied to Ecclesiastes?
Not directly to Ecclesiastes, but just to this idea of how many mana do I have? 4? I'll do one more.
Enough to try, right?
I want one more. I want one more before I go back and continue dying to ONS.
You've done the squat. You're gonna win this time.
I don't know about that.
Humanity has been restored.
Okay.
I highly suggest if you don't do this, but I believe in you, but if you don't, you should definitely go fight Pinwheel.
I mean, should I go
Yeah.
fight Pinwheel on the way anyway?
No.
No?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because that's
I don't even know what the
5
hell it is.
more flask uses.
Yeah.
5? What?
That's nearly double the amount.
Why did you skip Pinwheel? That's the real question.
Man.
I mean, he's not even a real boss anyway.
Not really. I mean, he's technically a boss because he has a health bar, but...
Yeah, and so is the Soldier of Godric, but,
I'm guessing that's from Dark Souls 3.
no, that's from, Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
They literally just gave a regular soldier a boss health bar, but no extra health. That's your tutorial boss.
That's so troll.
It is.
Oh.
It is. Elden Ring. It's got some Baby Town Frolics elements.
Yeah, that one is very much just introduce you to the language of everything, and then it doesn't even give you anything for beating it, really, other than souls, I think.
I just want you all to look at
you
the
just
ring
get
that I
gold.
had on as I was farming the rats. Real quick.
You know, that doesn't look gold or serpent-like.
No, it does not. It looks like neither of those things.
Hmm.
Well, we're gonna go with 4 then.
Stream debuff is real.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea.
It even affects your memory.
Something like that. Can I just run past the pinkies? I'm just gonna run past the pinkies.
You can always run past.
There we go. That's better.
In fact, in Dark Souls, a lot of the time, you really should. Just run past it.
Well, especially with those guys that are just not... They're not worth your time.
Unless you're playing number 2, in which case they went, no, you don't get to run past anything. Here, fight a mob of enemies.
Oh, Dark Souls 2. Please change. We wish you would.
Look, it's its own beast. It's got its flaws. It is. I after years of hating the game, I do have to say it's a good game.
Mhm.
It's just it's not.
It's not Dark Souls.
It's. I wouldn't even go that far.
Mhm.
But it is a disappointment for someone who really enjoys the Dark Souls formula.
Mhm.
Like, it had a lot of good ideas, like things like power stancing, for instance, where, you know, you have a unique moveset because you put two weapons together. That's really cool. And, I mean, Elden Ring obviously thought of that. It was like, all right, that's a really cool idea. Maybe we won't enable that for literally every weapon combination in the game. Maybe we just do that for, you know, weapons in the same category to make it manageable. But yeah, it ran so so Elden Ring could walk, or it walked so Elden Ring could run.
Should run.
One of those two things.
It fell over, so Elden
Yes.
Ring could
It-
walk
it-
over
it-
its corpse.
It walked directly into a mud puddle and fell flat on its face, so that Elden Ring could walk through that same mud puddle over its corpse.
That's such a good mental image. I love it.
I'm so lost right now, but that's exactly where I belong.
Oh my goodness.
I guess Elden Ring is good.
Yes. Oh, I haven't
Elden
played it too
Ring
much.
is excellent.
Of course, the next game will be Armored Core.
Mm.
Oh man, Armored Core is so goddamn good.
I wasn't even aware of it until you started putting it in your videos, Foxman.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I literally started it back up last night.
What video
Watch,
do you make
uh,
with that in it, Foxman?
It was a while
That-
back.
It's like you're playing Warhammer 40k or something.
That's the one I've been playing.
Killing Tyranids.
Back in October, I had a few videos. End of September, mid-October, I had a couple with that. Oh no, further back. Through September, I had Armored Core. Then I had Half-Life for one episode. Then Armored Core again.
It looks like the kind of game that actually fulfills the Gundam fantasy.
Yeah.
Now, were you playing the most recent one or one of the older ones?
But the most recent one. I played the first one a little bit on Steam Deck. I was emulating it. That one's really fun too.
I have only had the pleasure of playing the latest one, but I absolutely enjoyed that. It was great.
The gameplay for the one on PS3, I think it was like the last one, looks
What are these games
amazing.
again? I've lost the name of the series in your discussion.
Oh, Armored Core.
Yeah, one of the many AC games.
Black Flag.
Is it Assassin's Creed? Is it
No.
Uh,
Different AC.
Animal Crossing?
Oh my gosh. There's too many ACs.
Clearly,
DC
you meant the
Attorney.
award-winning MMO Asheron's Call.
Ashes of Creation.
Air conditioning?
Alternating current. AC/DC. Alright.
I've been really tempted to get back into Metal Gear Solid V.
Metal Gear Solid V.
Mhm.
I don't actually
The
have
Phantom
systems.
Pain.
I need to play
I
through the
got
Metal
like
Gear Solid
halfway through
series.
that, and it eventually just got tedious for me, I guess.
It very much is. It's not a finished game. Like there literally is an ending to the game that never got implemented because Konami just said we're not putting any more money into this project.
But you can watch the YouTube video once you beat the game.
Yeah, basically there's like a comic book that you can like watch animated on YouTube
Wow.
that will tell you what the real ending of the game was supposed to be.
But seriously, who wants a Metal Gear Solid game without David Hayter in it?
I don't know, it's so good. The fact that you can play Take On Me while landing in Afghanistan.
That is, yeah, that is true.
You can have
Did
a
have fun with the game, more fun than I was expecting.
the fun is not the story, even though the story is fun.
Is that like being able to play Fortunate Son on a UH-60 in Vietnam?
Yeah, in a way.
Okay.
There's what's the other thing you can do?
Ah, my black wire orb is quivering.
We're not doing that until after I'm done with ONS.
My orb is quivering.
I know. Although I do need to do that in order to have Firelink Shrine open up again, so that will actually be a required thing. Oh, I'm going up too high, but I do want to get that giant to go back down. Go away. Thank you.
The other one.
I'm sure any Firekeeper's soul will do.
Unfortunately, no.
No,
That's
you
not
need
how that works.
That Firekeeper soul.
I want my own soul back. Whatever.
This is why you always kill the tree.
These Firekeeper bitches are so fucking picky. They want their soul back. Gosh. And I parried way too early. Can I not die?
I mean, you
Can you
could.
let me out, please? I'm just gonna drink.
I guard this basement. Get out of my basement.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Get out!
actually I'm actually terrible. It's not
Get
even a
out of
basement.
here.
It's like a fucking
Oh,
trophy room.
this is my basement? Telling me it's not a basement. Oh, well, I'll show you.
Oh, sure I am. You're channeling Strong Bad right now? Is that what's happening?
Whatever comes out, man. Oxman, have you ever heard of a game called Half-Life?
I have.
Would
I've played it on my YouTube channel.
Would you even give a if 3 came out?
Would I do what if 3 came out?
Give
Give
it
a shit?
I don't know. I probably would play it, but the I don't know. I have a friend whose dad worked at Valve, and behind the scenes, there's been like, from my understanding, 4 different iterations of Half-Life 3 that have gone through almost a full production cycle, and then when they reach quality assurance, Valve is just like, it's not good enough, and they won't release it.
Valve or Gabe Newell specifically?
I don't know how much control he has specifically over it. I'm sure he has a
got
pretty big influence, but
Yeah.
I think
Wow.
there's so much put onto it that I don't know if anything could make it through
Yeah.
and be called Half-Life 3.
Well, it's got so much expectation on it.
Yeah,
They should really just pivot to Portal 3.
probably.
Well, I'll tell you. Based on my skibidi toilet research,
What the fuck?
Research
What the
heavy
fuck?
quotes.
the guy who does the voice for the G-Man tweeted something indicating there might be a thing.
Well, we'll see.
I can definitely
Wake up,
say
Mr.
I would
Freeman.
give a shit if
Wake
Yeah,
up.
I've
Portal
been
3 came out.
Smell the ashes.
I've been waiting for drones to hunt me down and kill me since I first played Half-Life 2. And like I just watched the future move closer and closer to that.
Have you
ever
considered
since.
heading to New Jersey?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's gonna be one of the robot dogs for me. I can almost
Look at
tell.
this. This is a face of a man who does not know what he's doing.
See, I think it would be really fun to have a game that combined the two with the portals and the guns.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do that level design wise, But
I just love that the concept of Portal was, let's make a first-person shooter where literally no one dies except maybe you.
it was originally a student project.
Check this out, guys. Foxman just clued me into the game of the future, man. Portal.
Portal with guns.
Portal with
No.
guns.
No, Portal, but it's like the game Fugitive.
Ah.
Okay.
So like it's inherently a speed run with a portal gun through the level, and like the multiplayer guy or the AI is chasing you, also with a portal gun.
AI with a portal gun seems like a very
Chaotic.
chaotic, very difficult thing to program.
How
We
do
just
you
have
how
two
do you make an
players
AI think in portals?
I don't know that you do.
It'd be
I
better
don't
at
know
it
that
than
you want to.
Like you would either make it way better than you or way worse. I don't see a lot of in between.
Well, I mean, the thing that comes to mind for me is like the Trackmania AIs that have been developed, where they're really bad right up until the point where they actually start being good, and then they get way better than players almost immediately.
Yeah.
But I
like
don't.
the game itself was essentially a speed run, right?
Which one?
The one I just invented because of Foxman.
Oh,
Fugitive Portal.
maybe.
Well, Fugitive in my head is more like hide and seek. But I guess yeah, if it's kind of out in the open, you could have it, I guess, be a speed run tag race almost.
What's the? I'm trying to remember the name of the game. Dishonored.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
I haven't actually played that one either. But
It
there's
was a good game. It didn't resonate super well with me, but I thought it was really cool. I never got to finish it though.
The ending's kind of tough because the whole game is like telling you to kill everybody, and then you reach the end of the game and it's
You weren't
if you
supposed
killed
to.
everybody, you get the bad ending,
you're a bad
and
person.
the bad ending's pretty brutal. It was it made me feel so guilty that I ended up replaying it when I was however old I was when I played it for the first time.
Have you played
Immediately
Undertale?
after.
Have you played
A
Undertale?
Sifu, which is another game where it's telling you the whole time, just go kill everybody, get revenge.
Oh,
And then, you get revenge, and it's a little bittersweet. And
did you guys just see that?
I did. That was impressive.
I hope that's a sign. I really hope that's a sign.
And it also doesn't help that Dishonored gives you like the fun way to play is by killing people, and the peaceful way of playing or the non-lethal is a lot less fun. It's still pretty fun, but
But it's changing it
you're
from like
closing doors off.
yeah,
You know.
it's turning it into a
you're
proper stealth
fundamentally
game.
not engaging with
Yeah.
mechanics in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want to kill everyone in the city with rats? That just sounds like
That
fun.
is actually one thing I liked about Sifu is going for the peaceful ending. Still requires you to beat the crap out of your enemies. You just have to kind of do it twice. And then not hit the I killed him button.
To spare
Yeah.
them. All right, here we go. Here's the butthole clenching. Here we go. Come here, Slayer. Oh man.
Good opening, good opening.
You'd think I
Maybe
would
not.
learn how to deal with the spear charge. I'm just gonna start chucking shit. It hits who it hits.
I mean, you got 5 of them left. I mean, yeah. I am surprised that actually stunned Smo.
Me too. I thought that he had more poise than that, but I guess not.
He's got crazy poise.
Did that actually not hit? Oh, I'm out. Okay, well. Here we go. I get a hit in. There we go. He swings. Can I swing? There we go. He's stunned. Oh, that was a good hit. Okay, back
You
up.
got strategy down on him now.
I shielded. That's such bullshit. I hate this boss.
One of these days you'll figure out that spear charge.
Oh my god. I just need to dodge it, but do I need to? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna
I think
fix
the
this
closer you are to him, the safer you are.
because he doesn't do the spear charge stuff.
Well, yeah, it seems when you get the distance, he does his, like, super quick jump in and attack you thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you're close, he
You're
does
just
his spin
scraping around
attack.
him.
And I think you're able to get around that pretty easy.
Yeah, his sweep is not super fast, so while you're strafing around him, it doesn't seem to hit very often.
Okay. I'll try and stay closer to him on this run then.
I've never played this, but it seems to me that everyone here who has says you're a terrible, terrible noob.
I claim stream debuff. I'm also changing it up a little bit because I was mid-rolling, so I removed some
Why are
armor,
you
so I'm
wearing
now
different
fast rolling.
pants now?
What's that?
Yeah, you're showing us your legs now. This is
Yeah, I'm being a
awkward.
little hoey pyromancer over here.
I mean, that is what Miyazaki loves. He's got to see those feet.
Have you seen Maneater Mildred? That's his ideal woman right there.
Now, you don't have to fight this Nest guy.
I mean, I don't have to, but it's like a point of honor at this point. Or dishonor if I don't. Also, he was chasing me and came up on me when I was at the last spot, so I'm just gonna kill him and be done with it.
Yeah. I forgot how far that guy... He followed you really far that
Yeah.
one time.
He was all the way up in the atrium here, so
You would think his leash point would be
further
a
back.
little further back there.
Yeah. Nope. No, we gotta fuck with the player, especially the ones who think that they can get away with just running past shit. Also, actually, let me... Hang on. Let me also... How many firebombs do I have? I have 5 blacks and 1 regular. We're gonna do
Did
that.
that say dung pile?
Yes. Yes, it did. Oh, that...
I don't know if they're susceptible to toxic.
Well, we're gonna find out. Specifically, if
toxifies
empowered
you.
Smo is susceptible to it.
I will warn you, it also toxifies you.
Yeah, but it's less, so, you know.
He's setting himself up to die from dung. Just
Yes.
let it happen.
Quite possibly. Alright. Come on, giants.
If you want to die to literal shit, that's your own choice.
I'm excited for the Soul Level 1 run after this.
No, I'm actually debating, like, if Mrs. Pilotson is up for it, then I'm going to play It Takes Two. Can I get out from under you, please? Oh my god, I almost got forced. Can I? Oh, I can't kill you. And I'm gonna get fucking slapped. Can I get out of the way, please? There we go. And heal.
I'm excited for the It Takes Two though.
No, it should be fun. If she's not up for it, then I'm either going to play Undertale or Hollow Knight, I think, are the two that I'm thinking of.
Oh man, Hollow Knight, that is a freaking masterpiece.
Yeah. One of my favorite games of all time.
What a controversial take.
I mean,
I'm here for the controversy.
okay. Take whatever this is, half-naked pyromancer wielding a big fucking sword.
You're only gonna need 4 Sunny Ds for this, right?
I mean, 4+1 Sunny Ds?
And a dung pile.
And a dung pile. Thank you for reminding me about that. I mean, the good news is that pyromancer armor, I want to say, is strong against toxic, so I get a little bit of benefit from that. Slayer,
That
stop
is
jumping
true.
off of the freaking ledge. Oh, somebody dropped something. What did they drop? Titanite chunk. That should be useful later. Oh, I still need to go through the dark root garden.
So now, don't get
We're not
stabbed immediately.
Try not to. Come on, Slayer. Alright, there we go. Time. Okay, he's not actually rushing me on this one, so. There we go. Hello. How you doing, buddy? And then dodge into the column to not get tagged by that. Okay, he used that. He's targeting Slayer, so I can swing. Okay. It's coming at me. You guys said to charge in, but I'm just... There we
We
go.
said to stay close, dung pile.
I know. Well, that didn't help.
You also don't want to get ganked by Smo, so...
Yep. Keep an eye on that. Okay, drink. Okay.
Dung pile.
No, I don't want to use that just yet. I want to
Save
save
that
the dung
energy for Fatty.
the next phase. Can I get the kill there? I can. Hey-oh! Can I get the... I couldn't quite get it while he was doing... Okay. And I think Slayer actually has health this time, so we should be good.
Well, he certainly is alive.
Yeah, that's a difference. It's a change from previous.
More than you could say for the guy with the spear.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. Unless I die again, in which case he will definitely come back.
Go help your glowy friend. Go.
I'm trying to, but I'm trying not to die at the same... Oh, I didn't... That was not what I meant to do. Okay. Tagged him, so he's now focused on me, which is not necessarily what I wanted. Solaire,
Throw
can
that
you
poop.
actually, like, hit him, please?
The column in the way. He can't.
Yeah, there's
We can
this-
get rid of
the
that.
intent.
And he's good
He's
at
so
dodging
desperate,
poop.
he's gone to flinging poop.
Hey, from what I hear, this is a very effective technique.
It doesn't seem to be that effective. Now your glowy friend is dead.
Yes, he is, and now I'm fucked. Well, we're gonna
Too
try...
much time playing with poop.
He did throw poo though, so you have the primate win.
I'm also fast rolling now, so maybe I am gonna try and get... Oh my gosh, okay. I'm just gonna try and get as much damage off with Fireball as I can first. Not that that's gonna be a ton. Okay. Fast rolling feels so much better.
It is definitely playing.
Oh my lord.
So normally you want to not roll into the hammer.
Yeah.
I was trying to roll across it, so that way it wouldn't. I should have rolled back
let's
away
explain
from it.
that all on the poo.
Oh,
That
my
run,
gosh.
shall we?
Oh my lord. Am I out of humanity again? I believe I am. Nope,
You
I have
see,
one
it's not
more. I have one more.
necessarily- Ooh. Not necessarily stream friendly to do this because of the time it takes, but what I like to do is go into this fight without trying to actually beat it,
Uh-huh.
just so I can get used to the movesets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's honestly a big struggle point. Although I feel like we've got Ornstein down, not quite to a science, but at least enough that I'm not feeling weird with him anymore.
You certainly don't seem to be on the struggle bus with him.
Alright. Killed that one. Then we kill this one. I wasn't even targeting and I parried that.
Damn.
That's pretty good. Also, shout out to, I think it was Ocarina of Time that originally did the targeting mechanic, wasn't it?
It's the first I know of.
Yeah. Revolution
think.
in gaming. Gosh, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it to Seath, but I at least want to get ONS finished for this stream. Good lord. But if I can't do it on this humanity, I don't know if I can do it tonight.
Feel free to do a bunch of rat grinding between streams.
Yeah, the thing, I wanted to not hide the struggle bus. Like, that's the thing. I know that that's something that is a pretty common, like, hey guys, I grinded off stream, but it's like, I don't...
Well, I'm saying if you don't actually win this fight.
Oh yeah, so that way I'm not
Do
making
all
it
your-
a third
all your-
stream of just me grinding against ONS.
The prep run,
Yeah,
right?
that probably is a good idea.
But surely you're not going to die right here on the stairs.
Surely not. Whoever would do such a thing like that? Come on, guys. Please just cooperate with me. Let me get this. Let me have this.
Oh.
I mean, I got the kill at least.
I gotta go grind in Minecraft at the Adventure Palaces to get my mace.
Can we do like Hermitcraft, but Cornercraft? Is that like a thing that we could do?
I mean, you can always try.
I don't think it'll be nearly as popular, but it would be fun to do.
We're supposed to all get the new civilization when it comes out.
Oh, that's right, because you and Nate have had a running competition with that, right?
Yeah, there's if you have 5, you can
Uh-huh.
try and beat our kill times. I think I beat him.
Okay.
But it's like you have to play as Gandhi
Okay.
on like the same map. We all.
I might give that a shot. I do have Civ 5. Hey! At least got that part done. And not get ganked by Smo? Woo! Okay. Howdy, partner.
That was almost as good as Dumir.
Okay.
Did you all hear that Notch has announced his next game is going to be basically a competitor to Minecraft?
No. What's he doing with it?
He's shown off some stuff for it before. It's another voxel-based game, but he's just said it's basically going to be Minecraft 2.
On his Twitter, he was talking also about a roguelike game with the special Buddha Thungan. It was like he was gonna do either that or the Minecraft.
Oh. I saw the one. Let's see. Oh, I'm too lazy to look this up.
So the consensus on lock-on is flight simulators did it before Legend of Zelda, but Legend of Zelda is the one that did it for adventure games.
Lock on for like missiles, I guess.
Link in the Discord, Pop.
Like the type of lock-on where your actual camera locks to the enemy was in some older flight games, but lock-on as we know it now was pretty much the consensus seems to be that it was done by Legend of Zelda Ocarina. Followed very closely by Soul Reaver.
You know, it's a interesting day when you go down and Satan is trending on your Twitter.
What kind of stuff are you
Eight
following?
First time?
Okay,
It's my
it's
first
doing
time.
No damage. Are you fucking me? Is there any way to get close enough to this guy to actually do damage?
Are you out of Estus now?
And life.
Yeah, I think staying close is also useful for Smo too. I mean, it's
Minus
actually the best place for most Dark Souls bosses is being right up in their crotch.
Yeah, minus that ground
You got
pound.
the
Though.
giant sword, you know.
Well,
Thanks,
unfortunately,
that's terrible.
yeah, I was not able to deliver on the thumbnail. Unfortunately, but I appreciate you guys coming in. Let me end the stream real quick, and then we can
Attempt was made.
hang
I
out for a little bit if
appreciate you
you're up
letting me
for
on.
it. All right. Sorry, any viewers who want to check this out, but yeah, we'll see how things go in the future. Goodbye then. Be safe, friends. Don't you dare go hollow.